Hi, I'm Ree from mummyof4.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my step-by-step method for gift planning for your children like a pro. Now, as you may have guessed from the name of my channel, I have 4 children, but 3 of those children are born within a few weeks of Christmas. I have got one a couple of days after Christmas, I have got one at the very end of January, and one in the first couple of days of February. It is a very, very busy time, and if I do not plan it out properly, it can be absolutely disastrous. So if you want to know how to plan for Christmas success, keep watching. If you are new here, welcome. Please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. I post loads of shop with me's, hauls, as well as parenting tips, tricks, hacks and advice, speed cleans, all those good things. So I would love to have you as part of my community. Now, first, before we start, I have a gift for you, and it is my Christmas gift planner, which you can download using the link below. Now, this is everything we're going to use step by step to fill out. We're going to talk you all through it. So what I want you to do is right now, pause this video, do come back and watch the rest, but pause this video, head to the link down below, go and print this off. We're going to print off one of these for each of your children, and then come back and I'll talk you through filling it in. And we're going to complete it, and by the end you're going to know exactly what you need to get, when you need to get it, all the budgeting, all sorted. It's going to be wonderful. Have you done it? Have you got it? Fab. We're going to start first page, quite simple. Name your child's birthday. Now you may think, why is this relevant? This is about Christmas. No, because we are going to think of Christmas and birthdays as a whole year-long thing. We are going to decide what your children need over the whole year rather than just focusing on Christmas. Now, this is something I have to do because my children, a lot of them have birthdays close to Christmas, but even my son who has a birthday in July, which is almost halfway through the year, I still gift plan the same way. So make sure you've got the birthday on there and then the budget you've got to spend. Now let me know, are your children's birthdays near Christmas, or are they sort of further through the year, breaking up the expense a little bit? Let me know in the comments. Next thing you need to do is gift brainstorm. So on this page, it is literally plenty of space to just whack down all the ideas of everything they might want or need, things they've asked for or things they may actually need as well. So if you know they're going to, for example, want a tablet, for example, that goes on there, or if they need new sports kit, anything at all that they're going to need between now and 12 months time goes on here. So especially if your children are very, very young, if you have got a baby you're gift planning for, there are going to be lots of things on here that they're not going to actually need properly until next year. So if you've got a newborn baby, for example, by this time next year they're going to want baby walkers and things that you think, whoa, that's just way off. But if they need it over the next 12 months, it goes on the list. I'll explain why in a second. Now, the next couple of pages are split into Christmas and birthday. And if you look closely, we have got something they want, something they need, something to wear, something to read. So this is a rhyme you're quite possibly familiar with, but I add to that with something to make, something to do, something to share, something to feed. These are all the categories, and this is especially important if you've got different children of different ages. Like I have got 4 children ranging from age 15 down to age 2, and I need to buy for all of them, and they all need to feel like they've had reasonably equal gifts. So this is how I split this up. Obviously their needs are very different and it's quite difficult, so this is the method that I use. So then what we do is we take the gifts that have been brainstormed on this page and we start moving them into these categories. So for example, they might want a certain doll or action figure or whatever, that goes in there. They may need a new karate kit, that goes in here. Whatever it might be, split these into what they want and what they need. Now, for my children, the Christmas and birthdays are quite close together. It doesn't make that much of a difference which page they go on to, other than, and this is the big top tip, I tend to do main presents, like big one-off expensive things, like say a tablet, for a birthday rather than for Christmas, because in my experience you end up buying the main thing, say the tablet, and they still need a pile of stocking fillers as well at Christmas time, Whereas for a birthday, it tends to be like, here is your birthday present, and that like one thing seems to be more acceptable. I don't know if that's just something that I've got in my head, but I certainly feel like at Christmas, it's sort of about filling their eyes a little bit more. So we do have main presents for birthdays, and obviously that's their like own individual day. And then otherwise at Christmas is a very expensive day, where if everyone is having a main present, you know, if you're gonna buy like 4 towelettes plus a whole pile of stocking fillers, it can be really, really expensive. I would definitely put the more expensive main presents, like birthday presents, onto the birthday page rather than the Christmas page. And definitely what you need to think, if you've got a very, very small baby or a child of an age where their kind of developmental needs are changing, or if you know they're going to be starting a certain activity over the course of the year. So say for example, you have a baby that was born in October, they are just very, very small, like still really much a newborn baby at Christmas, but by next year they're going to want the walkers and things. So maybe at Christmas you would buy or ask family members to give you some of these things that they will need at some point before next Christmas, because otherwise you are going to have to buy them anyway, which means you will have to not only buy presents now but also buy things later on. So anything that you are going to have to buy anyway, especially if it's like a gift type item like toys or walkers or whatever it might be, needs to go into this list. So the next step is you've decided which items that are going into this list. Now something they want, that's probably something, if they're a child that is at a talking age, that's something they can ask for. Something they need, you'll understand. It's always nice to give them something to wear, because let's face it, we have to buy them clothes anyway, and they're far more appreciative of things when they come out of wrapping paper rather than just land in their wardrobe. So if your children need new clothes, then buy them Christmas and birthdays. As well, even if you're buying other things as well, it is a good idea to kind of add those in. Not only to like bulk out their present stash, but it's stuff you're gonna have to buy anyway. So get it wrapped, get it in for Christmas. The other thing you can consider is buying things, especially if the Christmas and birthday are quite close together, buying clothes that perhaps a little bit too big for them that will grow into in a month or two that they can wear. So all the stuff that you're gonna have to get before their next kind of present event goes in there. Something to read is always nice for children to have lots of books around them, so it's always nice to have at least one book at Christmas time. Something to make, this could be anything kind of crafty. It doesn't have to be like, I'm not a really crafty mum. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm sort of like a Pinterest fail kind of mum, but it could be, you know, Play-Doh or colouring or paints or whatever it might be. Something to do, so it could be a jigsaw or something. I mean, some of these things can kind of go in either category. Some of the things that like make or do, like crayons, they could be something to make and do, maybe, I don't know. Something to do could be something as a colouring book. These do not have to be expensive items, but if you just feel like you've got something in each of the boxes, you know, you're kind of buying similar things for each child. Something to share, so this might be like a board game or a communal thing, and this might be a present that you were given to your children together, or you might be like a present given to one child that they would share anyway. So this would be board games, or one year my children had a toy kitchen, things that they're going to share, it might go in there. And something to feed, that's quite simple. That's just like, you know, your selection boxes, that kind of thing. I don't feel obliged to put something in every single box, but if you have more than one child, just make sure if you're only using those 4 boxes, that every child has 4 boxes worth. And that way it's going to sort of seem like an equal kind of gifting situation. Now the next step, and bear in mind, I'm going to keep this child friendly because my children may be watching, hi darlings, and I'm sure some of you watch with your children, is to decide what you're going to ask Father Christmas to bring versus what you're going to buy for your children yourself or buy from the siblings to each other. I have already taken my children to see Father Christmas. I would definitely do this as soon as Father Christmas makes an appearance in your area. You can check out the vlog when we went to visit Santa up here, and you will know that I told my children to ask Father Christmas for one thing each. And most importantly, when they've asked Father Christmas for that one thing each, they cannot change their minds, because I hear so many stories of children going on Christmas Eve, I want to ask Father Christmas for a pony, and you're just like, Father Christmas can't pull it out of his sack that quickly, darling, you know. So make it quite clear to your children there is a deadline, whether it's because you've been to see him and you've told him, or you've written a letter, but when that is done, and they cannot change their minds. Perhaps if they have some money for Christmas or birthday, they could save and buy the thing that they're asking for, the other thing they wanted to change their minds for, or they could have it for their birthday instead. But once the request has gone to Santa, no swapsies. So out of these items, the wants, needs, the wears, read, make, do, share, feed, you decide which thing you're going to ask Father Christmas to bring. Now remember, that Father Christmas will never use the same wrapping paper as you would under the tree, would he? Just think about it. So you're taking the thing off this list that Father Christmas is going to bring, and then maybe you're going to think of some of these other things that perhaps your children did not ask Father Christmas to bring, but that you may ask Father Christmas to bring for them. So maybe things like packs of crayons, or pots of Play-Doh, or things that have gone in the make do section. Things that are sort of small, kind of stocking filler type things, things that are kind of small stocking filler type things that Father Christmas might buy. You're going to have to decide, and that's up between you as a mum and Father Christmas to decide that, which other things from this list you're going to request that Father Christmas brings your children. And then you're going to decide what you're going to buy your children and wrap and put under the Christmas tree in different paper than the paper that Father Christmas brings. You see? And then you may find that there are some things left on this list that Father Christmas doesn't necessarily want to bring, and you have not necessarily got the budget left to spend. Those things go on to this page, which is the last page in the gift planner. And this would be still to buy for whichever child's name. So all the things you have not yet purchased, or you have not yet asked Father Christmas to purchase for your child, go on to here. And then when you have got friends or family members or whoever saying, what can I buy little Joey for Christmas, then you can say, do you know what, I've got this whole list of stuff that I've not bought yet. Make sure there are like a variety of priced items on here, from expensive items to sort of stocking filler, cheaper kind of items. And that way it's sort of not a cheeky way of saying, oh, buy them this, buy them that. It's like, look, here are all the things that I haven't bought yet. You can pick off the list, and then perhaps you would buy the remaining items yourself, or perhaps you would put those onto their birthday list for another time. So really, when you are doing your brainstorm, don't hold back at all. So on this first page, when you're brainstorming, get it all out there, all the different ideas, and you can sort of start this brainstorming page as early as you like in the year. Every time they see something like in a shop or online or in an advert, wherever it might be, stick it on your brainstorming list. And then when it comes to divide, right, these are the things we're going to ask Santa to bring. These are the things that Mummy and Daddy are going to buy. These are the things your siblings are going to buy to put under the tree. And these are the things that are going to go on the list for relatives to buy. And the relatives can choose from when they're sort of like a gift registry thing, but sort of less formal. I find that's a really good way, without feeling sort of cheeky, of asking for various things that you know your children are going to want from family members. And then anything that is remaining on that list can go onto their birthday list. Anything that has not been bought by Santa, by you, or by friends can go onto the birthday list, and you know it's things they're still going to love, and you've got a list of ideas when their birthday comes around. Now, it's fair to be quite strict when you're budgeting for this, and once you've hit your budget, and that's, you know, Santa's got his budget, and then you've got your budget, and then any items that are not bought by friends and family, do not feel like you have to buy your children mounds and mounds and mounds of things. It's not about that. There are ways to fill their eyes and still make them feel like they've had loads of lovely things without breaking the bank. So I would definitely recommend wrapping anything they're going to need. So if they need a new toothbrush, literally, as long as it's got a character on it and they're going to think it's cool, wrap it. If they need new stationery supplies, all children need stationery supplies, wrap them. They need karate kit, ballet kit, swimming costumes, armbands, anything. Even pajamas. My children always have pajamas at Christmas. They have a few sets of pajamas because they need new pajamas anyway. So I always make sure that they are wrapped. Basically, if it's got to be bought for them, it's a Christmas present, and it's bulking out their pile. It's giving them some more time on Christmas morning to open things, and they're a little bit more grateful, if I'm honest, because it's like, oh yay, we've had a Christmas, than if it just, you know, showed up in the house. I just bought it anyway. Plus, it's money I would have to spend anyway. Another really great tip for filling your children's eyes is, you know, when Amazon sends you all this stuff and it all comes in boxes, well, rip off all the name tags, make sure you know, put all the name tags and all the labels and things, and put things inside the boxes. So especially this is important, like I've got a 15-year-old, so his presents are like this big, but they cost this much. So his presents, so the little ones don't think that he hasn't got anything. would sometimes, if they are smaller, be wrapped inside another box, and we put lots of tissue and things, and then we're just recycling boxes that have been sent to us anyway when we've ordered things for delivery, and then you can pad things out. Another really great tip, if your children would like a new duvet cover for Christmas, I'm sure it's not something they actually want for Christmas, but if they would like a new duvet cover, you know, say with a pretty character on it or something, it's a reasonably inexpensive gift. It's something that they will use and you probably have to buy anyway, and if you buy it and put it over an actual duvet to wrap it, it's huge, and that way they have a really huge present, something to snuggle up with on Christmas Day when they read the book that they've had or whatever it may be. But you know, if they've got like a princess duvet on Christmas Day, it's padded out and they think it's cool. So good way to fill their eyes. Another tip I've got is to spread the joy, and by this I mean do not put all of the emphasis on Christmas Day. Now, we always try to exchange presents with friends and families on days that are not Christmas Day. Christmas Day is totally overwhelming. There's so much, especially when they're little, it's just a little bit overload. It's also a huge lead up to it, so it can be this kind of massive build up, lots and lots of excitement, and then all this one day and then it all goes flat. Rather than that, what we tend to do is we meet with friends one day, perhaps we do a Secret Santa with friends and they all have one gift, and then on another day perhaps we would see a family member and exchange gifts with them. They would have one gift, and we always do one gift on Christmas Eve from under the tree. Christmas Eve is such an intense day. It's so exciting. They've been wound up in school. They cannot wait. They're just like, oh. So if they have one gift that they've exchanged each from under the tree, especially if you choose an item to exchange from under the tree that is like a something to do or something to share item, something they can really get involved in. So it's not like the main thing that they're really desperate for, that they've asked for, but just something to keep them occupied. That really kind of breaks up Christmas a little bit more and takes the kind of the edge off the real Christmas Eve being just so intensely exciting. And that way it just spreads the joy a little bit over the festive season, rather than being lots of wound up, big day, big anticlimax. Another tip that I would definitely encourage you to do is really help your children enjoy giving things. I always ask my children to give their presents to relatives, even adult relatives, before they receive their presents, and really spend some time, you know, choosing presents that we're going to give to people. I involve the children in helping wrapping things. I mean, that's not always ideal because they're not great with secrets, but you know, if they really feel excited about giving, because let's face it, that's what the whole gift thing's all about. It's not all about like me, where's my present? Ugh, can't stand that. So it needs to be like, yay, let's be excited to give these presents. And then if they are receiving presents as well, to make sure that they are super duper grateful. There is nothing worse than children that can't say thank you. So making sure that your children say thank you may sound really obvious, but means the world, I'm sure, to the people that have taken the time to give them the gifts. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. If you'd like to watch my latest video, it's just over here. And down here we have a video that YouTube thinks you would enjoy from my channel. So go and enjoy it. See you soon.